Hello, everyone, and welcome to another horrific review. Flea and I are back as we continue our look into horror anime with Hell's Paradise, created by Yuji Kaku. A squad of prisoners and their guards are sent to investigate a mysterious island. They get stranded there and must rely on each other to survive the island's mysterious and monstrous residents. Welcome back.
Pleasure to be here.
Game, part 2 of the series. And just so I could stomach my way through it, I made sure I didn't watch it dubbed. Because, oh my god, that was like a misstep massively
Yeah.
with the first half.
There are
Listen
some
to
good clubs out there,
dubbed.
but you can count them on one hand.
This is not that. That was not it. And it was only because I was tired. And you know where you have to focus and read while you're watching when it's subtitles, which I don't mind doing normally, but when you're absolutely knackered, you just you sort of have to set that aside because I'd end up falling asleep. But my god, the difference.
Yeah, it's people don't believe me when I say there's a drop in quality between subbed and dubbed.
Oh no,
But-
massively. And I even remember back in the Bruce Lee days, like the difference between watching his movies subbed or dubbed, you know, even as a kid, I recognized that. Like always better to watch with subtitles.
Yes, I agree with that. But then again, I think we all start with dub though, because you have to remember when anime first hit the UK, there was no such thing as subtitles.
Mhm.
It wasn't really until DVDs started to become a thing that you end up with like the subbed and the dubbed track. And then people started
'cause
watching
VHS
dubbed and they were like,
covered
wait,
animal.
this is so much better. Why haven't we always been watching this?
DVDs changed the world. Changed entertainment.
DVD is one of the greatest entertainment revolutions ever.
I think it opened the door to nerd culture or people with niche interests because you're able to not just get the movie or series, but you got the extras, and those extras were worth it. You know, they give you that wee bit of extra in depth. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of them just full of fluff, like just contain the trailers and stuff. But
Yeah.
like collector's editions and all, you had in-depth interviews, you had director's commentaries. You know, if you want to actually find out what the director's thinking,
I've actually got to think that. Out of all the deluxe editions with all the extras in, how many of them have I actually watched the extras from? The answer is probably not as many as I should have.
No, if I have, if I'm doing something on this and I've got the DVD or 4K or Blu-ray, whatever, you know, definitely going through the special features because watch a movie first and then I'll go through the special features. And it gives you a wee bit of better in-depth knowledge, you know, from the people themselves. And like I said, yeah, there is a lot of fluff in some of them, but you do get some good insights. But needless to say, we're now in the world of streaming and online stuff, which if it was managed properly, it could be the next step. But I feel like we've regressed.
Yeah.
I feel like we've lost something.
I think greed's taken over again. And it's kind of like all of a sudden in streaming, it's like everything has to be exclusive. There's no room for sharing. You can't have like two people streaming the same thing.
And that's all the back. Well, it's like TV channels. You know what I mean? Streaming went wrong when the TV channels moved across. The people from TV moved into it. because TV was down in its arse, and the first stop moved across, and then that started it. So now we've got basically the same shit as network TV, which to me has taken away from like everything there was potential there. Because if they play their cards right, and they're sort of trying to do it now in the back foot, is studios are trying to create YouTube channels, for example, and share clips and spike features, and then get the ad revenue, etc. But they're then also a platform they never give a toss about. They're trying to swat away the people that actually made it, and they don't understand that to do that the channel dies. Like YouTube as an entity dies because the people that come on here aren't here for network TV. Yes, it's nice to get clips and all, but that's not what people are here for.
Yep, I hear what you're saying.
So, there's Luna on. Greetings. Oh, flip! It's all happening tonight. Got our first super chat of the evening from Chris. Contribution to Big Colin Cooling Fund. Yeah, it's actually not. We're just talking about that. It's not as bad today. It's actually going to help up. What didn't help was I decided to iron my shirts today.
They're doing portable air conditionings at Lidl for like 50 quid.
I've got one. I need to empty out the. I was going to do it, but I've been busy today doing stuff. I need to pop out the bottom little bung thing and empty out the water.
I've kind of got one. It's called opening the window.
Yeah, but when the outside temperature is hotter than the inside temperature, it doesn't work. When there's but there's no wind, it doesn't. You can open all the windows you want, but no air actually moves. Like, forget it. Oh, and
it's in your mind, so you know it's there, even if you can't feel it.
Yep, and Luna has just become a member of the channel. That's something I need to start getting more members content. Obviously, I do, for example, I do trailer reactions because they get struck on the main channel, so I keep that for members. Horrific Hangouts happens there, and a few other bits and pieces. So yeah, we do have a member section, and thank you very much for joining. And and $4.99 from Luna as well. Fun for all the things. Yeah. Help me buy sensible stuff and not so sensible stuff, eh? That's fantastic. It's no, thank you very much, everyone. Honestly, it all makes a difference. Getting a bit of equipment or little thing like this whole back thing's going to get done up soon. I've actually been preparing for it, getting all the bits and pieces. But even simple things like advertising, like God, I was meant to work on Horrific Tales Volume 5 today, and that went out the window because it's just too much to do. By the time I spent like a couple of hours doing stuff, that was it. Time's gone. Now we're online for this.
It's been too hot. How are you supposed to concentrate on something that takes as much concentration as that when it's so hot?
That's what's been putting me off, actually, because it's been so stifling hot. I go to look at the computer screen and I'm like, nah, can't. No, you know when the screen starts going double, like, and you start blurring and stuff. I'm just like, nah, and I don't want to mess it up. If that makes sense.
I swear to God, half the heat my PC puts out. Half the heat my PC.
Oh, this thing doesn't have either.
Monitor.
They're like having portable they're like having portable heaters in the room, aren't they?
Oh, nice.
Also, you're operating off a couple of monitors.
It's nice in winter, but in summer.
I'm convinced that's why my heating costs are down, because of this thing running. Or even the old one, because this, I don't have the third monitor going because I don't have a port for it. But when my PC, I did have a port, so at one point, like during RPG stuff, I have 3 monitors going. And that's just bam.
Mini fridge. I'm going to buy a mini fridge so I can put my feet in it.
Do you know? Here's a fun fact. We'll talk about anime, I promise. if you leave the fridge door open, the room temperature actually increases.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Do you know why?
The refrigeration unit.
Yep.
Because
It's trying to operate. So
on the back.
therefore, instead of just having a sealed container to cool down, it's trying to like make the entire room that temperature. So the heat,
It's the same air conditioning. The easiest way to blow up an air conditioning unit is to leave a window or a door open, because it will try and cool down the entire world. My God, I've just beaten global warming. All we've got to do is leave all the windows open when we're using air conditioning units to cool the world down.
Just have them all run. And a big pipe leading out to the moon. What you know what I mean? It's fun times. Right, anyway. So here we are, episode 7, Flowers and Offerings. So last time we left this off, we had 2 ladies having some smoochy time.
If you remember, the 2 ladies having smoochy time, and I'm like, are you sure? Are you like, yeah, but, sure.
Well, that's what they were at the time, but obviously things change.
In about 3 frames,
so
yeah.
So it turns out these are the Tenson. These are the guardians of the elixir of life. And yeah, they can swap between male and female because they're basically flowers and they can self-germinate. That's sort of what this is going on, you know.
They're
this whole thing's going on.
And yang. And when we start talking about it, do not give you a headache.
Each one's a hermaphrodite, and then when it transforms into its base form, it's like it's like the I'm getting an impression almost like the Pantheon, the gods of Olympus. When you see these things, they're like eternally beautiful, and they're decadent, etc., etc. They're cruel, they're capricious, you know, just like Greek gods. You know, they're
they are. They look human, and that's as far as they go. But then again, if you've got like the power of a god, you'd have to be a bit capricious, wouldn't you? You'd have to let it go every so often.
Well, is that not the whole point? Is that not the whole warning of those that try to ascend to godhood, etc.? You know, Mary Shelley's one of the first to write about it. The god complex, you know, the people that try to. You know what I mean? That line, "For I have become God," you know, that's doesn't matter what being you once you start down that path, it's never going to end well. But need to say, this starts to kick off, and then Gabimaru discovers May, the child.
It's kind of it's a really weird switch, because it's like, you know, battle, you know that fight is going to happen and it's going to be epic. Then it swaps back to Gabimaru. Gabimaru just becomes a small kid dressed in red with pink hair, and starts to chase her, because it's what you do when small children appear.
Yeah, well, I suppose it makes sense. It's if you meet the inhabitants of the island and you're like, don't know what the hell's going on, anybody could tell you.
She's the first sensible living creature they've met.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And she also twats him because she's got like a supernatural punch. You know,
it's like that is. You kind of expect, because of everything else you've found on the island, that you kind of expect that, don't you? It's like they've met a kid. There's no way she's going to just be like an old. She looks like she looks. 9, 10 maybe. You know, she's not going to be an ordinary 10-year-old.
I was thinking along the lines of Newt from Aliens.
Oh, kind of like you know. What do you know about the 10 cent small child? They come out at night mostly. That kind of thing.
Yep. I thought it might have been that sort of thing, but no. It turns out not only she got like a wicked punch, but she's also got a tree guardian, but like Treebeard and Ent. And I'm so glad I didn't watch that. I couldn't stomach if that was dubbed. I couldn't stomach that tree talking.
But no. I think you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it to me. Deserve it to yourself, and every single person who is watching this now to go back and watch that very episode dubbed. Thank me later. We should do a watch party of it. Just that episode.
But
actually, no.
Like a really bad Southern Californian accent.
Not doing spoilers whatsoever. You should totally watch the dub version of the one where May, the young lady's name is May, is trying to explain how to get married.
Oh God, no!
That sounds all that because that will make you regurgitate your spleen. It really will.
I'd have given. I just said sorry. We can't finish this.
Yeah.
Can we just spin the wheel offline and then pick something or pretend it's never happened? Delete the video. If I had to watch another 7 episodes of this dubbed, no, sorry, it wouldn't happen. I'd be out.
That bad, eh?
It was headache inducing.
Like,
really put me in a bad mood listening to it.
Just be glad that back when horror anime was first making itself felt on the West, you never had to watch the dubbed version of 3x3 Lives. Because no.
But this is where it completely like sidestep the battle because we end up having Gabimaru's group. The tree takes him to the village.
Yeah, I love the way the kid basically punches Gabimaru halfway across the island, and then the tree just goes like, "Let's be friends. Come to my house." Yep. But you've got to be honest, it's very anime. If you think you get a good guy in anime, a bad guy in anime, they beat the living shit out of each other and become best friends because of it. Every anime ever.
That's life.
It is. It's like. Do you know what? You beat the shit out of me. I beat the shit out of him. We now have mutual respect. People would learn things.
Start, good. Yeah, good punch to the face.
Got to be honest though, for Tree, he has a really, really nice house.
Well, that's the thing. This whole village, so I suppose we set the scene. The village here is completely overrun, as in just it's overgrown. It's been abandoned, and what the tree's done is just basically he's carved out, made a room into a home, and made it really comfortable and dusted. And lay down carpet, etc., read carpet and stuff.
It's just a really nice place. He and May are the only people living in this village, and they've been living there for 1,000 years. I'd kind of liked a bit more. I'd liked a bit more of their life. I know we're in the village for quite some time, but I'd love to have had more backstory.
This is what I find frustrating about this series is there's not a lot that actually happens in the episode in terms of lore.
Right.
It seems to be talk for a bit, big fight, talk for a bit, big fight.
A lot of it is a question of time because you have to think by the end of episode 13, by the end of the first series, they've only been on the island 3 days.
Mm.
Which is one of the things. So it's kind of like they're rushing the story, but they're not. It's like they're only covering like the main events that happen, which can be a bit irritating.
Yeah. Like I said, there's just I feel like we could get a wee bit more lore, and I just don't like that. There's too much time spent on the big. Every fight is a big epic one, and there has to be a big fight every episode. So there's no mystery solving taking place really, and to me it sort of distracts.
That
like I said
later.
before we went live, I likened this to Attack on Titan, where the monsters, the human shaped monsters, attack every episode because they need a big action scene. Because it's like they don't have the confidence to be dramatic.
The manga is exactly the
same. I always
same.
feel like I need to put Attack on Titan on the. I almost feel like we need to put it on the list.
All 7 series.
So I can explain what I mean. Well, by the time the turn up anyway.
I think it's like
the law of averages.
Attack on Titan.
They'll just be there.
Attack on Titan. There is actually a good story behind Attack on Titan, but the fight scenes get in the way.
Yeah, but that's what I'm finding about this. I'm drawing the similarities. Is that there's, for some reason, they have to have a fight scene every episode here. And it starts feeling like Saturday morning cartoon. Now, I know it as well, they're whittling down the cast. Because there's far too many characters in this, so obviously they were trying to whittle down to the core group.
Well, yeah, because you've got what? You've got what was it? 20 criminals.
About 90 characters.
Yeah, each one that has like an Assamon watching over. So that's 20 characters, but it's like it's whittling down like the also runs, so it can just concentrate on the main character. Because like Sagiri is a main character, Gabimaro is a main character, Yuzuriya is a main character.
Don't know about Sword Dragon yet.
I like it. I've got to be honest. I do like it.
He's a solid character. He's not. He's just who he is, But yeah, then we have the whole thing because Santa, is it Santa?
Santa.
Tenza. The nerd Asomon. Tenza, right?
Oh. Yes. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Tenza is the guy with the he wears like the metal band across his forehead. He's the one who's with
Santa.
Guy.
Yeah, it's Santa.
The raccoon guy. The chunky one who likes reading.
Yeah. So basically, we'll have the whole thing. Yeah. He won't join. Obviously, he won't mind Yuzuri when she's in the bath. So of course, like he has to go and join her because we'll have to have a bit of titillation. Because the only reason that scenes her is just to pander to horny 13-year-old boys. Let's be honest.
That is one of the best scenes, just for a simple way. She's like getting into the water. She's like, I'm not going to take my eye off you. Don't try any tricks because you're not going to. Ah, the water feels so good. Falls asleep.
Yeah.
And come on,
we haven't done Tokyo Ghoul yet.
Most of the audience is waiting for the bath scene. We have not done Tokyo Ghoul, but it's on the list.
eventually. But yeah, we'll find out then. You all sit down. I just Gabby Murray's not eating and stuff. Like, I haven't got time for this. No, just there's a bit of a storyline built up here with him. It's all about learning lessons, isn't it? And balance, and
Yes.
that's what this whole series is sort of trying to push. It's about finding balance in your life. So he's pushed himself to extremes and doesn't take the foot off the pedal whatsoever.
Gabby Murray
So he
just
won't even
wants
sit
to
to
get
eat.
home to his lovely wife. Gabby Murray's problem. Gabby Murray's problem is he hasn't got the patience he was born with. He wants to get home to his wife, who has suddenly discovered that he loves more than anything.
Which is
he doesn't want to bother with things like food and sleep. He's getting in the way.
Yep. But for a shinobi, that's very, very strange, because the whole point of a shinobi is the essence of patience, and will lie in a ditch for 5 days, to wait for its target to pass at the right moment.
Yeah, but that's
hang from a, hang from a rafter, just waiting for the chance to pounce.
That's different. That's work. Yeah. Gabby Murray.
But yeah, we find out then the island is called Kotaku. And the elixir that they're looking for is called Tan, which is made from humans.
Pretty much. But it's not if it's made from humans who become flowers.
Humans are basically fertilizer for this. It's
nobody ever said this anime makes sense.
No.
So yeah,
but it's almost like Island of. It's a bit of a twisted, darker version of Island of the Lotus Eaters from Odyssey.
It is.
Except these people are, instead of living in peaceful love and retrospect, they are murdering hedonists and possibly cannibals. And humanity's warped. God, do you remember Ulysses 31?
I do. That's what I thought of
the Lotus Eaters, and that was the Lotuses were the ones that shot lasers. It was
damn Lotus Eaters.
God, I knew it. Honestly, that would, if they got rid of freaking Nono and the blue girl, Yumi, wasn't it?
Just focused on the story itself.
Yeah, just Telemachus and shit.
See, that counts. Same with Mysterious Gold. Even though they're French, they were animated in Japan.
Yeah, but that was that was during the time there was a whole series of collaborations, and that's where we got some of the quirkiest, weirdest anime. Animation. It was great, and our childhood was better for it.
The good old days.
But anyway, yeah, the French and Japanese made an anime about the Incas.
My best character in that is still the parrot.
I know. That's like I said, I'm getting those sort of vibes off this, but in a Attack on Titan style, the island. But
that is back in the golden age of animation, because you have to think back during that era of animation is also when we picked up things like Akira. So yes, the island is called Kotaku. The elixir is called Tan. The island is ruled over by 7 entities known as the Tensen.
Who we believe were the original 7 hermits that the people know of that lived on the island originally.
It goes into more detail sometime during season 1, but I can't remember when. Because it explains like there was originally only one person who split into 7 and became the 10th then, which is why they all look alike apart from their hair.
I didn't pick up fully. I know maybe I picked up in a bit like about the set of the hermits, and that's what I thought they transformed into. Yeah, it was a bit like I said, if they'd spent more time in this, instead of it just being like footnotes and then big battle scene.
Yeah, they kind of they don't spend enough. Yeah, they don't spend enough time trying to explain the background. They give you like a rough idea whether or not it actually like covers this and goes into more detail later on in the series. I don't know, because it's like they've only just showing season 2.
Yeah, I think when the group gets to small enough numbers, maybe that's more. But then again, if the people watching this are expecting, what'll happen is people like me are put off by the Saturday morning cartoon style if everything has to be a big fight. If they don't keep that going, then the fans that they have who are enjoying that, they'll be turned off, but they won't bring the likes of me in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't reviewing this, I'd have probably given up after about 3 or 4 episodes, to be honest, and just went, nah, it's getting on a bit. Especially when I found out there was a season 2. I'm like, God, they're dragging this on a bit.
No, season 2. They've already announced season 3. This it's popular enough that this will probably continue until the end of the story.
Fair enough. I guess we'll see. But yeah, I like the fact we're getting a bit, nothing is natural in this island. Nothing has lived here or survived here is natural. So even like some May, she's centuries old. She might be a child, but she's like been around for hundreds of years.
I love the way they kind of start philosophizing about the fact that like everything on the island is like a man-made construct. It's like nothing that appears out there appears to be natural. Bloke with the head of a fish. Fish with the arms and legs of a man. Still not as good as a zombie shark.
Nothing will beat zombie shark. Can't believe we're watching live. Actually, like, come on, do it. That was so much fun. I think I was the most animated we ever were during a watch party.
I either need a plushie. I either need a plushie or a 1 in 4 model kit of that shark.
Yeah, I've been looking up. You can build one. They don't sell it. You have to build one.
Yeah, you're gonna have to kit bash the entire damn thing.
Yep.
It's sad.
But you have to use like 40k figures won't do it. You have to like go and get toys, and they don't do plastic toys anymore, really.
Not really, no.
Because you have to get like a frog man, and like scuba diver legs and stuff and that, and all different ones. And
you could do it using garage kits, but it would cost you an absolute fortune. But then again, it would be a one-off, and you would be the only person with it. And you could post photographs all over the internet just to annoy people.
Just go, nah.
This is mine. There are none others like it.
Oh well, that's for
Sorry,
another
I was
time.
just having a
Can't wait
power
for season 2.
zombie shark.
Yep, I'm like, I can't wait for. I just hope it comes out at some stage. Season 2 of Zone 100, because that was such a fun series.
I think it will, but they're doing like they normally do. They're waiting. Remember, I'm a big fan of a series called Spice and Wolf. The book, like the novels, the manga, the anime. Between season 1 and season 2 of Spice and Wolf was 19 years. Be prepared to. Meanwhile,
Guess what?
something like this. I mean, I don't know. Something like this. Series after series after series after series with hardly any weight. Because teenage boys are where all the money is.
You can see that this is, you know what I mean? Definitely was. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Yuzahira, and to a point, Sagrini. You can see they're servicing. But yeah, this is the first of Gabamuri sort of learning there's more to life, you know, and having to actually take time to heal to be ready for the next battle. For some reason, he's forgotten all this, which once again doesn't make sense considering his vocation.
Because the man's a weapon.
I mean, it's part of the.
It's like he gets sent out on suicide mission after suicide mission after suicide mission, but he always comes back. And the reason he always yeah.
No, go ahead, because it was about to go down.
I was going to say the reason he's come up with that he always comes back is his wife. But it's like he's only just kind of like realized just how important his wife is to him, which is why he's pushing forward so hard to get back.
Which is interesting because at the same time, they're building this relationship between himself and Sagrini. So we're being set up for a tragedy at some point.
Or are we? ... That's just it. Yeah, as you walk through it, more and more is revealed and will be revealed. Because I still reckon that somewhere in this, there's going to be like a massive showdown between Gabby Maru and the village chief.
Yeah, he has to return home at some point.
When? How? I do not know.
I suppose that's where it's gonna. Because let's be honest, there's only so far they can go with this island.
Right. If you think about it, but like if you by the end of the first series, we've covered the entire, because it's like they're like these like the it's explained to them that the island is 3 zones. There's like an outer zone, a middle zone, and then the inner zone, which is where the 10th zone lives. We've been there.
Like Crystal Maze.
Yeah, we've been everywhere on the island.
I have to go through each of the zones for them to go to the bit and collect the money.
Like Richard O'Brien did not make an appearance. I was very disappointed.
No, that's I think that's who the tree guy's meant to be, whose name I've forgotten right now. But could you picture? Oh my god, that would be so surreal. And actually, somebody has the that in. Richard O'Brien bouncing about. I go, right, come on, and let's go to the millipede zone.
Get out! Oh, they're trapped with the millipedes.
For our young and international audience, the Crystal Maze was a game show back in the day that it was all solving puzzles. It was you could do a mental, a physical, or what was the other one?
Oh my God, we're talking like
There's 3 types of games. You went into each zone, and you could do like a physical challenge and a mental challenge or a skills challenge. That was the one. Because one of the skills challenges was like you got this remote control like moon buggy, and you had to like get it to go through the maze to get the crystal. Because each thing they had to solve the puzzle before the timer ran out, or else they got locked in. And every member got locked in was one less to go into the crystal dome at the end, but you had to gather all these little tin foil things. A lot of fun. Like it was just one end series.
Yeah, the bit I remember most. The bit I remember most is the big like the zone at the end where you grab the golden tickets.
Yeah, the crystal dome.
If I try thinking about it too hard, my mind regresses back to Adventure Zone, or whatever it was called. Adventure. What was it called?
You had medieval zone. You had industrial zone. You had
Adventure game. That's like
the jungle zone, whatever that was called.
Yeah, it basically it's like Jumanji before Jumanji was Jumanji.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a Richard O'Brien appearing as but yeah, I can picture. I can seriously picture Richard O'Brien. We'll not talk about Ed Shooter Pull because that's where.
No, that was kind of like.
Yeah, but remember they tried to replace him with Ed Shooter Pull, and it was absolutely abysmal.
The thing I remember Ed Shooter Pull is
that's what I was like. This guy's a charisma vacuum. Get him out of here.
Edward Tudor Pull. Yeah,
that was and people go, that was a mistake. Much like me watching the first 6 episodes that's dubbed instead of subbed.
You've learned your lesson, and we forgive you. But yeah, fancy what?
Endeavour not to. It doesn't matter how tired I am. I shall make the effort in future.
There's always time. Sleep.
Yeah, that hurt. That was painful. Anyway, we get on to Student and Master, which is where we get Tenz's backstory.
This one's sad. This is, I think.
And this is so obviously Tenza is guarding Nurugai, who, as we've now discovered, is a little girl. Well, not a little girl, but adolescent girl.
I'm not quite sure how old she's supposed to be. She's adorable anyway.
I don't think she's not too young because there's a lot of no, we can't do that yet. You have to wait a few years before we get married. So they've already planned their marriage. It's a bit groomery. He's a bit of a groomer.
I want to marry you. But wait another 10 years. That kind of thing. Yeah. So, oh my God, I am so married. She's adorable. She's kind of like she's like brilliant comic relief. And whenever you find like comic relief in like anything that is related to horror, you know it's not going to end well.
No, because you can't have too much. That's not a horror comedy. It's just there to relieve the tension. Because this is quite full on. Let's be honest. Like every episode, somebody's getting ripped to shreds.
Oh yeah, it's like
dumped down holes and. Now we find out they're not only out there, but they're being recycled into an elixir. That other people are drinking.
It's like sodium people. Oh yeah, tanners as well.
It's like people getting sent to recycle in 2000 AD. I'll eat you. You know what I mean? Bye, mummy and daddy. I'll eat you later, sort of thing.
It's like, yeah. It's good, but it's not regular people who get turned into tan. Only the special ones. Right, well, say. I'm trying to remember the name.
Basically.
I'm trying to remember the name of the Tantan with the red hair because they've all got really long, really awkward names.
Mudan. He's the main one that basically appears the whole time. Mudan.
It's like, why are we sticking to the beach? We've got to stick to the beach because it's like the forest, the jungle is full of monsters. It's like, so yeah, but we're just gonna like bake in the heat and run out of energy. We've got to go on shore because that's where all the food and everything is. No, we're safer on the shore. Oh, you're definitely safer on the shore, says the red-headed monster standing in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And we've already worked out that the we've already learned that the Tantan are like the ultimate monsters. And here's like the cutest couple in the entirety of Hell's Paradise facing one down. And you know it's not going to end well.
And he came to the beach because he was curious, because this group are different.
I do like that, though. The fact is, it's like he's not there for any particular reason. He's just come to check them out.
Mm-hmm. But of course, when he encounters humans, he's going to kill them because that's just what he does.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, look, you wouldn't you?
Yep. But just as all this is about to kick off, Shion arrives.
Dropping in at the perfect moment. Right, really good at turning up at the right moment for a blind man.
Shion reminds me of Daredevil. I can't help not think of Daredevil when I think of Shion.
He kind of is, isn't he? Because he's blind, but he uses like these special sensors to find his way around.
Mm-hmm. So it doesn't make a difference. Or Stick, more like Stick out of Daredevil and Daredevil himself.
I'm gonna have to ask the question: who the heck is Stick in Daredevil?
He's Daredevil's teacher.
Oh, I probably never got that far into Daredevil.
I don't know if it was only for the Netflix show, but it was still.
I was going to say I haven't watched.
Good. So basically, obviously, because Matt Murdock was only, his father was a boxer. I learned a bit, but he had to learn martial arts from somewhere. It's already having enhanced abilities, but if you don't know how to use it, it doesn't make a difference. But yeah, this is where we got a bit of the backstory as well of Tenza. He's basically a street urchin and got taken in by a samurai. And now we find out that it's actually Shion is that samurai, his master. And he came to the island as well. And he's the one that was assigned to the other buxom blonde who didn't last very long.
Yeah, he tried to seduce him. So he killed her.
So, yep. And then this is where he demands, why haven't you executed her yet?
Yeah, wasn't her title something like cannibal prostitute? There's an image.
Something like that, yeah.
But it's like, why haven't you executed her yet? Why are you talking to her like this? Why are you treating this criminal with respect?
Yeah, and he tried to tell him that, yeah, I've talked to her. He's like, I've reviewed all her files. You don't need to tell me anything about them. You know what I mean? That's
It's all about potential. He senses the same potential in her that Shion sensed in him.
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome. And Shion just kind of goes like, "Yeah, all right."
Yeah, but this is where Mudan comes back. And I honestly thought this, I wasn't expecting it to go this way, because I thought Shion was going to like get taken out.
No, it's a bit.
Like
It's, they decided to go the more tragic route.
Yeah. Which completely changes the dynamics, because essentially you have a couple, a blossoming couple, as much as there's like a dodgy age gap, etc. A potential love story blossoming, and then Shion arrives, and you'd almost think that Shion would be the one getting taken out. No, he would make the noble sacrifice.
Yeah,
so they could get away.
What will happen? The fight will go bad. Shion, being the master, will jump up to like defend his student,
which he did. Let's be honest, he did do it. But at the end of the day, Tenza is having none of it, and decides, you know what? I can't fight you, can't beat you with swords, so I'm just going to punch the head off you.
I love it. It's like samurai. That's it. The sword isn't working, so I'm going to use my fists instead.
Which does take Mudan by surprise.
Very effective.
Sometimes you just need a blunt instrument. That's the thing. When everyone's so used to like being precision movements and all, it's like somebody who's practiced kata all the time. And then they go into their first street fight and realize how messy and unpredictable and horrible. And actually, you don't do precise movements. You just bite someone's nose off if you need to, sort of thing. But yeah, it still doesn't go well, because Mudan's immortal and regenerates.
It's a bit where he attacks it, and no matter what he tries to do, Mudan's just kind of like, "You showed me that before. I said I said I've already seen that," and nothing he can do has any effect on them.
So, in a whole complete twist, which I have to say, this episode, I think this is the one I was most invested in, because it did have a bit of heart to it, and Shion then having to run with Narugai because Tenza offered up his life basically to save them both, and him being forced to do that and watch his student die. When we find out that no, it's not here, or is it later? No, it is here, because this is the bit where the whole backstory that Shion had a student before, and he didn't bother about being passionate about training him, and he ended up having to execute him for being a criminal. And the last words the previous student said was, "I'm sorry, master," before he, this is now proper Japanese tragic, their equivalent of Greek tragedy storytelling.
Oh yeah, it's like things are going positively Shakespearean now.
And that's the bit that turned him when Tenza found out about the sacrifice, the story behind the first student, and then why Shion is the way he is, be able to just dedicate himself to him. And then this is like the final thank you for turning my life around, sort of thing, and dedication to the master. And yeah, it's pretty tragic. Like you get a wee lump in the throat. You're like, what was that? Oh, let me just swallow that bit of emotion there.
It's a bit where Shion is charging into hell, and it's like, It's like Tenza's trying to find his voice because he's basically been punched in the throat and now his windpipe crushed. And he's trying to shout something. He just manages to scream this gurgle, but she understands. Turns round, runs off, grabs hold of Nurgai over one shoulder. So she's like, even though he's carrying away, she can still see Tenzin die. And she screams, and it's not some like wet, weedy scream like some person's doing on a sound. It's a proper, all throated, full of despair scream. If you hadn't swallowed the lump in your throat, if you'd swallowed the lump in your throat, you'd get another one. Just for that scream. Amazing scream.
It was emotional. Like I said, this is what, if the series has spent more time doing this, I'd be more invested. But there's too much of the, especially the later episodes, too much of the Saturday morning cartoon type battles, which puts me off. Then we get on to Gods and People then, and this is where we go back to Gabamiri. And he decides, of course, as per his MO, to stride off on his own to find Horror, which is the center, you know, where the elixir is supposed to be.
Yeah, he's just kind of like sitting there keeping watch. The knowledgeable samurai, the large chap, is kind of like, it's like, center. Don't have a bath, fall asleep. No, my dedication is more than that. Don't have a bath, you'll fall asleep. No, my dedication is more than that. Has his bath. Next picture is like Gabimaro sitting, looking at center lying on his back, spread eagled, fast asleep. Gabimaro is just kind of like, I haven't got time for this. It's like we haven't got time. We haven't got time to rest. We haven't got time to stay here. We need to go out. We need to go and find Hokai, in the middle of the island, and then he just gets up and leaves. I love the fact that he kind of like he travels into the mists, and he finds like the remains of the villagers, because it's like, whereas the one surviving villager is slowly turning into a tree, these are the guys who have already turned into trees, and they just kind of
reminds me. Sorry, yeah, this reminds me of an elephant's graveyard. Especially when it's explained, an elephant knows when it's going to die and goes to the elephant's graveyard. And this is kind of it. This is where the villagers who finish the transformation, they go, and they all like end up in the prayer position. And you can actually hear the chant. It's like a permanent chant.
Yes.
But this is where one of the other Tensons arrive, and Gabimaro encounters him.
It's new guy again, isn't it?
No, it's a different one. No, because he doesn't appear again to the end.
Oh, but there's the entire kind of like, oh no, not the human. Oh, I really can't be arsed with this. I've just fought a bunch of humans, and they were completely not a pain in the arse. They were way harder than they should have.
That was the other one who was.
Can't you just like turn around and walk away, and we'll pretend we haven't seen each other?
Gabriel's having none of it. It's like, nope.
It's like, no, I need to get in here. Oh god! And it's like, well, it's like Gabimaro and the battle in episode 1 at the tent, or episode 2 at the tent. The one with like, oh, the one was like, oh, it's such a pain. I really can't be asked, but I'm going to have to kill you. And then he kills everybody.
Except this time it's not like that, because the Tenson's up against Gabimaro, who's, as we've found out, not quite a normal human being. He's a bit enhanced.
Yeah, slightly.
But this is the interesting bit because this is where we start to see the reveal, like the under certain stresses, the tension switching between male and female.
I wonder if it's kind of like I kind of wonder if it's like, because it's like, it's all to do with yin and yang, and one of them is masculine, one of them is feminine. In order to use powers from like those skill sets, do they have to change form?
Yep. But also, we also find out that this isn't the final form of the Tensin.
And
I forget the name of it, but when they transform into like a beast,
it's like a flower
beast shape, but it's essentially a flower, a plant. And what is it? The stamen and oh my god, I'm trying to remember back in biology.
Pistol?
Plants contain both male and female.
Yin and yang all over again.
This is gonna. They can technically self-pollinate. Sorry, folks, I have to look this up. Reproductive organ of the stamen or the pistil. Yes, you're right.
My God, my all the biology I learned when I was at school have actually served me a purpose. Yay, go education.
Yeah, God, I have all this random shit in my head that doesn't give me any room for useful stuff.
Don't we all? It's like, I'm going to remember. I'm going to remember pistol. I'm going to remember that. And the next time you're in your bank, you can't remember your PIN number. And you're like,
yeah,
what's your PIN number? Sure.
It's like always remember chordae tendinae, the heartstrings and the heart.
Yeah.
But never caught any exam papers. Like, fuck you, that's what I remember. Stop it.
You want to remember all these pages for your exam, and none of it's on your exam. You're like, but why?
Mm-hmm. Well, you push out information like your name, and then you get stuck in the first question.
Like, well, that's it. I mean,
so basically,
name is important because as long as you get it right, that's 1%.
Mm-hmm.
You can never truly fail an exam as long as you get your name right. Bad beste flig.
Yep, that was a joke. You forget your name, and then you're stuck at the first part of the exam. But anyway,
but you're right. You've got to be honest.
When we see Plant Monster,
as far as anime fights go, this fight is pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like a lion or something, but it's a plant, and then you see, because it's do it in black and white, so you can see the difference. You see the pistil and the stamen, so the male and female. It's male and female plant, so that's why they can change and swap, because a flowering plant contains both sexual reproductive organs, and that's the whole basis of this island. Is their Xan out of Farscape? They're not human anymore, or if they ever were, but they're living plants, or Invasion of the Body Snatchers, whichever you want to go with, living plants that mimic human form. But Gabamaru is putting up a good fight, but obviously this is more than what he can match, or more than his match, and just at the end of it, he ends up in like a dream state with his wife again.
So I like this dream sequence because it's like, oh, were you having a nightmare? Let me make you some chrysanthemum tea. It's very good against nightmare. And it's like as they're talking, it's like items, like things in the background. Just like every time it's like he looks at her, she's talking to him. She looks at him. He looks back. Something in the background has disappeared. it's like as they're going through the conversation, Gabby and his wife, it's like the entirety of the world disappears around them until it's just the pair of them.
Mm-hmm.
And he apologizes that he knows it's a dream and he has to go and fight.
Yep, and also that he may not be coming back to her.
Mm.
He's breaking his promise, etc., and this is the bit where May arrives and actually saves Gabimaru, and the Tensin recognizes May.
Which so it's like, oh, who is she then?
Mm-hmm.
Who is this mysterious May character? If they recognize her, how long has she been on the island?
And this is where it comes in that the Tensin are the 7 hermits that originally populated the island, and it's the tan that they produce is what keeps them immortal.
Yeah.
And everything on the island.
Where we learned that every person on the island is turned into that praying tree.
Mm-hmm. Or the population of the village, but everything on the island was once human and has been transformed. Not just
Gabby Mary comes round again, and Sword Dragon. He's got to be one of my favourite characters. He's got a name. I couldn't tell you what it is. I think it's only mentioned once.
He just calls himself Sword Dragon. Yep.
Sword Dragon. You look like you've been beaten up. Is it time for you to die? Ending credit. Which, by the way, is sung by Sagiri.
Oh, cool.
And it's like then you get the introduction, like the introduction for Mappa, the company that animated this, which is kind of cool and involves motorbikes.
Mm-hmm. Which is strange because when you see the intro list, it's all motorbikes, and then it goes into the episode. You're like, this does not match.
It's a bit off-putting, isn't it? But you can guess that the guys at Mappa are really, really proud of that intro because it's on the front of.
But you'd think they'd change it to horses for the purpose of.
Like if it was samurai horses with like banners trailing after them, it would make a lot more sense.
Yep. With the same theme tune and just have it as the intro, you know what I mean? If it was set in space, do space shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, you got these modern bikes, and it's like that does not fit. You're just taking me out of. You keep that's what I mean. There's too many things here. Keep taking me out of this.
Yeah, it's
which is annoying.
It's not so bad once every week, but it's like for some reason on the site I'm watching this on, it won't let you skip the Mappa introduction. So it's like you get like
most other ones do.
You get the Mappa introduction, then you get like the kind of like the bit that the catch up bit at the beginning, which reminds you what's happening. Then you get the credit, which you can skip. Then you get the actual like the book of the anime. Then you get the end credit, which you can skip, and then it comes straight back to the next motorbike riding party. Mm-hmm. And it's just like every like 25 minutes, it just throws you completely out of whatever you were thinking. Oh, Mappa.
Yeah.
We'll never be silent.
It's starting to get interesting about this point, which gets really frustrating later on when we revert back to it's when the group split up and they spend time with individual characters. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, Student and Master spends a whole time with Tenza and Shion. And God's spends a whole time with Gabimaru.
Yeah. It's like student and master so far is the only one that has had like any kind of like emotional impact on the person watching it. It's all right. Like every other episode of this so far has pretty much been an episode of Dragon Ball Z. It's less about the story, and more about the fights.
Yeah. And I've realized that it's what's been jarring me as well up to this point is like every episode is bouncing between 3 or 4 different sets of characters.
Mm.
And I find that really irritating. Because they're only 23 minutes, 24-minute episodes.
Yeah. Eventually, people will either drop out or everyone will come together. But not yet.
Yeah, but when you go back to the fight scene in the tent, I mean, we've got a big, huge ensemble group. And it's only a 25-minute episode, and they're trying to give everybody airtime. It's really distracting because you're not spending any time with anybody. There's no character. So I've just realized what it is that's annoying me about this is there too many characters. They're trying to spend time with every bloody character every episode. And even though they split them into the groups are whittling down, yes. But at the start of this, you have 5 different groups, and they're all the episodes are jumping between each of the groups. Because every episode has the feature, obviously, Gabamaru and Sagiri, because they're the main characters. So you're bouncing around, you're not spending any time. Where what we've seen here is these last 2 episodes is actually spending time with individual characters, getting their backstory and their motivation. And then as this starts, the group starts building up again, because obviously Gods of People, this is where... No, sorry, we're now yin and yang. This is where Gavin Murray brokers the truce with Sword Dragon to basically say work together.
Terrible.
Oh,
what
Tamiya. Tamiya's his name.
Cowardly. It's a cowardly thing to do. He's right. This is the reason. I've got to go. This is the reason why Sword Dragon is one of my favorite characters. He can't understand why Gabimaro wants to work with them. He thinks they should just like fight to the death.
Yeah. But he's about glory for the Empire sort of thing. He wants his name to live on in songs. His deeds to, outweigh his life. Very Viking sort of, mentality.
Very samurai. Die in glory, serving your lord. Live forever in the annals of your clan. Very Conan the Barbarian, if you think about it.
Yeah, that's it's that sort of drink the blood from the skulls of your enemies sort of thing. Which fair enough. This is where May suddenly becomes a young woman.
Yeah. May is now kind of like May is like aged by 10 years, something like that. She's now 16, 17 years old. Or at least if she's now somewhere in her teens. Because reasons.
Yeah, because why not? And then this is where Santa has been studying about the island.
I think this is absolutely brilliant. This is Santa as he should be. Trying to explain to Yozia and the others exactly what the island is about, and he just goes off. He just nerdgasms.
We've all been there.
It's like this is my chance. This is my chance to prove how smart I am, how much I know about this, and he just goes off on a rant for 5 minutes. It's a wonder actually his eyes didn't glaze over. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I went too far. It's like, no. You're very knowledgeable about this. Thank you for telling us. Could listen to him all day.
this is where we find out that the reason the Tencent are so powerful as well is because they control the power of Tao, which is derived. Well, it's not derived. Their long lives derived from the Tan, but Tao is their basically it's chi.
That's it. It's basically key by a different by a different name. But yeah, it's
Yeah, that's
I love it. I love it when Meg starts to try and describe it as being both strong and weak. And it makes no sense whatsoever. And it's like, oh, teach me, little lady, teach me how to use this tower. This tower. Is this how you do it? Put something in half. No. Strong. Tower, strong, weak. It's like talking to Yoda. But less green.
Yeah, she's going strong, no, strong, weak. You know, doing the hand signals as well.
Weak, yeah.
It's it took me ages, and I didn't master, but when I was learning Wing Chun back in the day.
Oh wow!
They're
Yeah,
trying to teach about how soft and strong. So, like when you're doing chi sao, the sticky hands, it's all soft, but the strong part is when you find that gap, you know, delivering the straight line punch, and it's actually right to the last minute is when it becomes the punch. Up to this point, it's all soft, right until you actually strike, and that's where the power is. If you do it back here, you're actually because it was actually a YouTube video later where somebody reminded me what the bicep actually pulls the arm that way. It's your tricep that delivers the punch. And a lot of people like thinking boxing, you know, holding the hands up. It's actually getting you out of that. It's soft, like doing tan or something. You know, it's the last bit, the strike is where you go hard, if that makes sense, and deliver it. And it's all about within that last moment of strength. And that takes a long time to get your head around. And I just saw that her trying to explain this. The people that have also, if you've fought, it's actually trickier, I think, to learn another style because you're ingrained in the one. You know, I mean, you're always ingrained in your first style.
Yeah, it's very similar to Taekwondo, which is soft, hard. So I think what she's saying, it's all about kind of like it's all about biding your time until the moment, and then delivering.
But we've already seen Sagrini. We've seen Sagrini earlier on in the last session was starting to figure this out with the water flow.
It's first hinted when she's talking about being an Assamon executioner, where she's talking about how like it's like at the moment before you strike, there's that moment of perfect stillness, and it's like you can sense the gap between the vertebrae and the neck that you are aiming for. She does it again when they're fighting the giant, because it's like as long as she's in the right frame of mind, she can cut through anything. But the reason her blade bounces off like his knee joints and his elbows and his wrist is because she's distracted. She's not concentrating.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what it's doing. And now
we've got like, all the main characters.
Sword Dragon trying to learn this.
Yeah, all the main characters who have survived so far have some kind of like inkling about the Tao, but they all call it different things. It's like Shion. Shion detects waves. He's trained himself so he can see these waves. And it's like Shion detects it as like the flow of energy around like the gaps in the body and things like that. Not Shion. Sagiri.
No, Shion's right because he's blind. He sees everything in waves. Sagiri is the flow of water. Calamari's fire. So they're playing with the elements and all as well. You know, what I mean, they're bringing this into it. I just, like I said, if they'd have dropped a lot of the cartoony stuff in the first 6 episodes, and maybe just instead of having them prisoners and guards, just have them as a team. Like the concept of the prisoner and guards things, like it's now fallen broken apart. I don't think it served any purpose. It just served as a distraction.
It's like they're slowly garnering each other's trust, but they as is typically in like Japanese fashion, they've taken too long to explain it.
Yeah.
Unless they've already sat down in some kind of executive meeting and said, right then, this entire thing is going to run for like X amount of series. How are we going to fill up the blocks of 12 episodes? And they've gone like, well, we could stretch this out for a couple more than it needs to be.
I can see something like that being the case because honestly, they could have done a lot more with the first 6 episodes with the philosophy of this and the backstories, and got rid of the superfluous characters which took up time and space. And this would take it to another level. We're only starting to get here now. You know what I mean? After those first 6 episodes, basically fluff.
But like, there's fluff is something that anime is very good at, because it's kind of like they like to do all like the character exposition and everything before the actual story starts.
That's where I believe you start with less characters. And then just give it a bit of time, you know what I mean? Because there's loads here that were. But then again, like I said, if they want to drag this into like seasons,
I mean,
I would be happy if this was, to me, if this was like 2 seasons, one and done, end off. I'd be happy. If this was like 1 season, I'd be happy. You know, just well told. Add another mostly. This is why I like TV.
1 season, but 56 episodes.
No, we don't need another Death Note. No, but this is why I don't like TV. Because TV, whether it be animated or live action, drag things out for their purposes. And they either overconvolute a story and write themselves in a corner, or they just take too long with fluff. It's like the worst thing ever is watching, do you know the old school TV 24 episode run, 45 minutes each, and you end up with at least 5 episodes of just complete fluff and filler.
I remember the old the old cinematic series like Rocket Ranger and things like that. The old Green Hornet television that shows they used to show at the cinema, where the entire thing is like 20 minutes long, but it's like the first 5 minutes is a recap. The last 5 minutes is like the cliffhanger, and there's only actually like 10 minutes of storytelling in the middle. Coming up next on Dick Tracy. The good old days.
But
as we laughing call them.
Yeah, TV is very much like that. It's all about how long can we stretch this out, which I find and then all of a sudden they keep going and keep going. Then they realize they're getting cut, and then they wrap it all up in like 2 episodes, and it's a very unsatisfying experience, which is why I avoid TV.
I say, looking at you, Fox. 20th Century Fox, and their habit of ending series halfway through ending a series halfway through the first season.
Oh, they're desperate for that. She did it with Lucifer and all. Yeah, that's what I mean. I just can't. That's why I don't do TV, and that's why I like, if I'm going to look at a show, then I'd rather do it when it's ended, than I know it's got a beginning, middle, and end, so that I know I'm not being strung along. This, I feel like I'm being strung along because we are starting to get some interesting bits, but they're taking their time about it.
Mm.
But anyway, we've got this also that Shion refuses to take Narugai on as a student
Well,
because he
you
feels
can
guilt
understand
over
why,
Kenzo.
because he's strong, not strong,
Yeah,
weak.
because he's guilt. Yeah, but Shion's just witnessed his student perish to save his life, and that's the second student he's had to do that. In a short period of time, and the last thing he wants to do now is take on another one, especially in this island where everything's like your mortality rate is not very high.
Yeah, well, you can't live and be turned into tan. I mean, this is the problem.
Sorry about that. Just had to sneeze. Yeah, that's what I mean. Your survival rate
Mm.
is not very high here, so that's the last thing he's going to do in the middle of a fight for survival. Is then all of a sudden start teaching someone. But I love the bit. He's like, "Do you know what? You can practice on your own. Let me show you," and then starts chopping through the monsters.
The bit where he tries to kill him from behind. He's like, "Look, stop trying to kill me from behind. I'm not taking you on."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he flicks her sword, then moves her head to the side as it drops down. It's like
that can I say that I've got to be honest, that is one of the coolest scenes in the anime, the bit where he just kind of like pushes her head to one side, sword lands in the scabbard.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's borderline supernatural. So the whole theme of this is everyone's learning about balance. I mean, that's the only way they're going to survive is if they master this and learn to tap into the power of Tao. But then we then meet the Doshi. So we get a new set of entities, should we just say?
Yep.
Because I think monsters a bit simplistic. And then this is where we meet God, I can't remember who Chobi was now. Oh, he was he the
He's
guard that was looking
the
after Sword Dragon?
yes, Toby is Sword Dragon, isn't he?
Wasn't he?
Paradise quick.
Yeah, he's the one that took. Yeah, he's the one that's with Sword Dragon. So they encounter the Doshi and
Chobi. Right. Chobi is the blonde-haired guy with one eye. Because we haven't actually mentioned him yet. Even though, like, when they are him and his brother Toma, the one who looks more like a girl than a boy, the one who's the Asamon. They fight
Chobi,
against.
he's the Bandit King. Yes.
Yeah, Bandit King. They fight. They fight against the two. They fight against the two Tencent at the beginning, and they get dumped into the pit.
But they get out. That's right.
Where the tan is made. Yes. And they climb out the top, and while they're waiting, this kind of like this while they're waiting, this Doshi. Well, this Doshi comes up and goes, "Oh, you have survived.
Please jump back in the pit.
Please go back in the pit and please go back into the pit and be turned into tan." Because
Stop
it's
being so unreasonable.
Right. It's while Chobe is fighting. It's while Chobe is fighting them, that just by fighting him, he works out what power is and how to use it, and all his wounds kind of heal.
Oh,
it's weird purple vine.
That was the Tenzin. That wasn't Mudan. That was the other one that ended up facing Gabamari. That was the one that went, "Oh, I've just fought some of you out. I'm not in the mood."
Yeah. We've met, as far as speaking to them goes, we've met 3. We've met 3.
Yeah, but this is what I'm understanding. See where the episodes jump.
There's the blonde-haired one, the pink-haired one. They were being very friendly with each other at the time, and the orange-haired one with the kind of updo. They're the 3 we've met to talk to. There's another one who's talked, who's like the leader, who is the one with kind of like the really emo, long purple hair.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They're jumping between these too much, so it's hard to keep track.
What do you think?
Because you get like about 3 minutes if that, and
they travel around a lot, but they're gods, so surely they can be wherever they want. So they could probably be in like multiple places at once. That would be irritating. Back in Manhattan again. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is about where obviously Joby then figures out, oh, that's how you use it, and he's always adapting. I can't wait for his brother to die. He's annoying.
I think it's going to be the way. I think Chobe is going to die a horrible death. And Toba is going to survive.
Probably
just because it's because it's like the bit where Chobe is fighting the Doshi, yeah, and he turns around to his brother and goes like, "Toma, take care of the weaklings," because there's like 100 monsters around him, and he just basically goes swish, 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 swish with his sword, and they all fall over. I think his brother. I think Toma is way stronger than his brother, the Bandit King, but he doesn't show it because he's just such a subservient little good boy.
Yeah, there's just something irritating about his character.
Oh, it's because his character comes across as like a massive arse licker, even to his brother. It's like his character.
I respect Santa more.
Yeah, his character is like really, really, really quiet, totally subservient to his brother. It's like when Toma has to act on his own, he can't. He's got he has no personality as an individual. He can only do what he's told. He's the kind of guy who, if you took him to a buffet, he'd just kind of stand there with his plate and not know what to do until somebody told him to get food.
Yeah, and somebody I can't be around because then they become a burden. You know what I mean? And I can understand Chobe's frustration. Like I said, if I had a choice, if I had to hang out with the choice of these characters, either him or Santa, it'd be Santa all the way, because at least Santa has facts and dread. And you can talk to him, do you know what I mean? If there's no boobies around to distract him and make him blush.
Yeah, so Santa's an individual. Santa is a personality. You could have a joke with Santa because Santa has a sense of humour. Toma only has what other people tell him he has. In this case, his brother.
No, it's like I said, can't be doing that.
Also, no offense, he has got an incredibly punchable face.
Yes, that doesn't help.
But you're too beautiful for your uncle. You know,
but this has to be the creepiest. Sorry.
Oh no, after you. I was just going to shit on Toma a bit more. Keep going.
Yeah. No, but this is where the episode is like creepy to the nth degree, because we now realize that the Tenzin having sex with each other is not purely for recreational purposes. That's how they learn to develop their Tao.
I'm pretty sure this is Buddhism, you know. I'm pretty sure this is Buddhism, like the exchanging of yin and yang.
All right, okay, but the
maybe not to the kind of degree that the doshi want to take it to.
Yeah, because the doshi serve the Tenzin, they're the next level down, and they want to get to the same level. And the only person that they have to practice with is May, and that's why May was given to them. And they want May to go back to the gangbangs.
It's like we learn that May is like almost like an eighth. She's like the eighth Tenzin, but there's something wrong with her, and she only has like yin. She can't turn into. She can't like. She has no control over yang, so she can't like become a man. So they kick her out, and they give her to the doshi, who apparently are all male.
Who
now presumably.
And apparently this was the case for hundreds of years.
Yeah, but it's like if you notice the scene where you see the leader of the Tenzin, slash May with her sword, slash May with its sword, sorry. May's an adult, so presumably she's shrunk down into child form to hide. But being that fact, even if she's in like air quote slightly older mode, she still only looks like 14, 15.
Yeah.
And it's like you stranger humans must give May back to us because we got a bang. Or words to that effect.
It was the fact that the creepiest bit was, I don't know whether it was the subtitles or what, but she needs to come back to continue banging with us.
Yeah, they want to continue. They want to continue their training.
So they have been banging her for ages before she ran away and found Tree Person.
Yeah.
So essentially, she has been like the sole participant of a gangbang for like hundreds of years. Like when you read between the lines of what this is all happening, they want to go back to gangbanging her again, and you're like, whoa! And she's only transformed now to look like 14, but up to the end, she looked like 10 years of age, and that hints that that's what she was when she was kicked out of the Tenzin, the palace, and you're like, oh dear, oh dear, the doshi are basically broadcasting house. That's right, love. Oh,
it is very strange.
And we find out this is called Boku Jitsu.
Now, I am pretty sure Boku Jitsu is knife fighting.
Maybe
but Boku is
sword fighting, but fork swords instead of steel swords.
It's like Jitsu is like fighting style, yeah. I'm pretty sure Boku is knife or a type of knife.
Well,
and I'm just kind of like
it has been called the pork sword many times. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, but how do you knife fight with it? Surely you need another man to knife fight with.
I don't go to those parties.
Just saying, putting that out there, just so that people
just
can.
I don't go to those types.
Like, oh.
Yeah, mate, you do you, mate. I don't go to those type of sword fighting parties. It's just not my thing.
Me neither.
What was that movie? Oh my god, that was a comedy back in the day. Was it Chevy Chase? Where they put on the glow-in-the-dark condoms, or he does, and then somebody else comes in the room and has a glow-in-the-dark condom, and it's all pitch black, apart from these two things running about, because it turns out she has a secret lover, and she accidentally invited them to the same room.
The hell?
I could almost swear Chevy Chase was in it. I could be wrong.
Never.
I can't.
Never. This will never happen. This will never happen, by the way. Never ever use glow-in-the-dark condoms if the young lady you are with is a Star Wars nerd. You'll never live down the lightsaber noises.
Oh, God. No. But yeah, I just remember that scene. Sorry,
Yeah.
don't know why it's in my head. I have too much shit in my head. I've watched too many
I
movies.
blame Botujitsu and the horrors of what have been happening on this island before everybody else turned up to beat the shit out of the other people. Glad to say,
So
both the
I just equivalent.
the Doshi die, and they die in very pleasing ways in fire, which is quite nice. But I do like the bit where
Yeah,
you basically got
but-
Sword Dragon and Gabby Manu, and they're basically taking the piss out of everybody.
But this is the bit where this anime stuff, the Dragon Ball Z cartoony stuff starts coming in because they just pause and start having a chat, like as you do, and everybody waits patiently for them to start again.
Yeah, I'd be useless.
This is how you do it.
It's like the moment everybody stopped talking and stepped back, I'd just open up with the machine gun.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. This is the.
It's all to do with honor among fighting. I mean, it's like, think about it. If you've got two samurai fighting and one of them steps back and lowers his sword, the other will do the same. Because it's like, do you know what? It's like Dave beat the shit out of Peter, but he did it while Peter wasn't fighting. Commit seppuku this instant. Which you didn't think would matter to a ninja. But
Well,
I guess it would matter to like the Sword Dragon, because he's kind of like, the epitome of Bushi.
Yeah.
It's the Japanese way of the warrior.
This is where I just find the way to do it. Yeah. This is where I find it disjointed and distracting because they just stop. It doesn't make sense. If you're in a fight for your life, you're in a fight for your life. But let's stop and philosophize for a minute. Is just that's for the scenes in between, not for during the combats. And they've done it with Transformers, they've done it with Dragon Ball Z, they've done it with what's the other one, Avatar?
Yeah,
all those type, all those type of things.
It's
really irritating.
It's done in a lot of things. It's like the amount of think about the amount of films where you have the good guy and the bad guy facing each other, and the bad guy takes the bad guy at gunpoint from the good guy takes like 10 minutes out to explain his entire plan of world domination to the good guy.
Which
it's exactly the same thing. Exposition for the sake of exposition.
I don't like it. Anyway, it doesn't matter what it is. I don't like it.
I'd rather have it in like the swashbuckling movies where you've got the good guy and the bad guy fighting. It's like ching 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 ching. Why are you doing this? Ching 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 ching.
God.
Ching 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 ching. Because of like moments where they kind of like lock swords, where they lock swords with each other and like spit in each other's faces, that kind of thing.
But I'm trying to think. The Princess Bride, the scene at the cliff face.
Oh, the greatest fight scene ever.
You did not know, for I am left-handed. Aha, but I'm also left-handed.
I'm not left-handed either.
There's like a poetry to that. No,
it's like I'm sorry
to that fight scene.
It's a pleasure to meet you, and I'm sorry I'm going to have to kill you. It's a pleasure to meet you, and I'm sorry because I don't want to die. Kind of thing. That is how it should be done. It should be done in like short sentences in between like flows of swordplay. That's how they should like do exposition in there. Not kind of like, why are you doing? Why? Ting, 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 lock swords with him. Why are you doing this? Takes a step back. I've got a seat over it and a blackboard. If you've got 15 minutes, I'll explain it all to you. It's like, no!
This is where the Japanese get it wrong. Yeah. This is where the Japanese pacing doesn't work for me.
It is very Japanese. It's kind of like the bad guy. When the bad guy dies, he always gets a speech that's at least 5 minutes long, probably with cherry blossoms drifting past him.
Yes, has a look off.
It's like, no, because my childhood was so bad, my father treated me so badly, it is that I have become this evil. I did not wish to be evil. I wish to be a good man and bring smiles to the face of children, not sorrows. Please forgive me and let my whatever the word I'm looking for, dry your tears and please let you smile again. Explodes. It's in the right place. It's brilliant. This may not be one of them. Mm-mm. It's like, it's nice of them to explain, but it'd be better if they just kind of like the and some third person narrator came on and explained it to you. But yeah, it does.
Now, where this was good was a bit May's on Sword Dragon's shoulder, and she's trying to explain why he's fighting. That was good. That worked with the pacing.
Like, no.
Like I said, the walls stop it to have a conflab. Well,
strong, damn it. He's like, oh no, what's it? Oh, one of my types. Yeah, strong, damn it. Strong, weak, good.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like the guy with like the cutting hook, who's in the middle of combat dissecting things. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I get it. She explained it to me, understood it perfectly. But he's off there like examining this thing's neck or something.
Yep.
Makes no sense.
But it's borderline comedy at this point, and it's like
I've got to be honest though. When
it's ruining, it's ruining the.
See,
fight scenes are great in this. The gore and the horror, the brutality is great, and the idea, the concept of the island and the fact what's happening to the people is great. But it's this cartoony stuff is pissing me off because it's taken out. This could be proper dark, like you're in a hellish, because that's the whole point. Hell's paradise. I'm thinking Happy Sugar Life, where things on the surface look really sweet and nice, but the darkness, when the darkness hits, and we're not getting enough time for the darkness to hit because
there's a series on the wheel called there's a series on the wheel which is coming up, which is exactly the same. It's like, it's really cute, it's weird, it's really cute, it's really fluffy, it's kind of funny. There's bits that you'll roll your eyes in, but it's horror, and when the horror finally arrives, it will take your breath away. As it should do.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. But this series is not giving me that. It keeps every time it gets there, it jumps back to Saturday morning cartoon stuff, and it just. I'm finding it frustrating.
I'm enjoying it because for me, it's the right amount of like cartoony action and deep thinking. Now, the actual kind of like it's like the paragraph breaks between like the fighting and the deep thinking aren't necessarily done very well, because it's like it's jarring. It's like
between so many characters in the same episode.
Yeah. Intense action. It's like the enemy, like the Tencent raises its fist, about to bash the hero, about to like crush the hero's head between its fist and a rock, and then it jumps back to like May. It jumps back to like Gabimaru.
I haven't seen for like 2 episodes.
Yeah. It runs into like a scene of like Gabimaru walking into the bathhouse, followed by Sagiri, only to find that May's in the bath, and she bursts out crying. At which point you find out that May has this huge scar, and it's like Gabimaru's because of his wife, and the fact his wife has got like a hideously scarred face. It's kind of like, don't be ashamed of your scars. They're part of you are. May falls in love with Gabimaru, which is why I think she saves him.
Yeah, because that was just that moment.
Either that, or she sees with him in someone who can kill the Tencent. And then it jumps back to like whatever his name is, moving his head a fraction of an inch, and the Tencent's fist missing it. It's just kind of, it does. It's like the story jumps around like a Philip a dick novel.
Yeah, this is what's taking me out
Really
of it.
thought, by the way.
But thankfully, I'm not hearing Southern Californian voices, or else I'd have been out of this. Thankfully, I chose wisely this time.
The thing, like the nice thing about anime is like most anime is quite simple. So that even if you can't be bothered to read the subtitle, even if it's in Japanese and you can't be bothered to read the subtitles, you've more or less got a grasp at what's going on. Simply because, like the story, most stories in anime are telegraphed really well.
But yep, this episode then, this is where we finish off because then we jump to Sigarini's group. They find the palace because they have obviously followed Gabimaru.
I'm kind of wondering how this island works because there only seems to be one road, and it's it's like all roads lead to the palace.
It's because the plot needs to happen.
Oh, God, I love straightforward plots.
Right, this is where we go to Umbrella and Ink. And we start off, obviously, with Greeny's group, and Mudan appears and instantly takes a liking to Yazuria.
The blonde one. She is lovely.
Until she uses her secretions. I have to say, her secretions put me off.
There's a scene later on. It's like, well, you can fight. You want to do things in its death. No, we're covered by. We've covered ourselves with bandages and Yuzuria's mucus. I wish they hadn't called it mucus.
But the stop part, once again, it stops part of the way through the fight, and you see her licking Sigarini's arm. And you're like,
I mean, that's absolutely
in the middle of a fight.
No, I love that. Then she's like, "Do you really have to lick me that way?" No,
but
it's brilliant. It's great.
Once again, it's not the scene; it's the way that the ram it in between.
It's just
this
kind
is
of
what
like
I'm trying to explain.
It's kind of like the comic flashback. But it is very user.
It's like middle of the action. So we'll find out that this island is basically the Tencent just use it as the experiment.
It's a laboratory.
And they're just auto web messing with the humans because they can. And even when Tree Guy gets his head lopped off, and that his whole world gets torn apart because Mudan's just like, yeah, we just did it because we thought it'd be fun. No, sorry, there is no afterlife.
There is no afterlife. Your soul. Yeah, it's like we did the entire thing. Right. The entire thing is an analogy of religion as a way to control the population. I shouldn't be saying that. Not in my. But it's like basically it's kind of like, yeah, there's no such thing as the afterlife. We just promised you that so that you wouldn't like turn against us. I'm like, it's like, wow, harsh.
And there's no deeper meaning. This just it was an experiment, and just to see what would happen. That's it. You know, that must be horrible.
Yeah, just imagine having like your entire world, your entire set of beliefs just ripped out from underneath you like a rug. Just a shame he'd taken his head off. I could totally see him just like being like, oh, and charging towards him and just like being dismantled piece by piece.
But then that's not the only revelation.
This is true.
Which is actually not strictly true, but to say there's no elixir of life.
Yeah.
But we know there's Tan.
But what
what to say is the tan. It doesn't work on humans.
Yeah, it doesn't work on people. If a regular person takes tan, it turns them into a tree.
Mm-hmm.
So is that why the people are being slowly turning to a tree in trees, because the Tencent have been slowly, like, say, sneaking tan into their water supply. I mean, they'll live forever.
Them, you know.
Yeah, they'll live forever. They're just trees.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
but that's part of the experiments they've been doing. But it's basically there is no everlasting life or youth. It's no, there's everlasting life, but there's no eternal youth. The two, he makes a point of saying the two are not mutually exclusive. So yes, you can have eternal life, but you don't get eternal youth. Which to me, it's pointless. And like at this stage of my life, if I was made immortal, I'd be pissed off. If that makes sense.
Who wants immortality though?
Because my knees are no, but you know what I mean. Somebody goes, right, you're immortal now. I'd be like, ah, shit.
Damn it.
My knees are shot, everything else, you know what I mean? I'm like at that stage where I'm not as strong as I was, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, nobody wants immortality. In their 50s, the one. You want it when you're to like 25, but
no,
also
I want
you don't want to
immortality.
be
Well, I've
25
still got 100% control on my bladder.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just immortality is not the blessing that people, if you think about it logically, it's not the blessing. But then that's why most stories, you know, that's what they say. Anyone's immortal is usually miserable and broods in their castle because they don't have hobbies. So apparently they've done everything. But yeah, that's all becomes revelation. But then Yuzuri decides to basically become Spider Woman and spin mucus webs and try things and
See, that's it. She's always come across as being like a comic character. She doesn't do much. You've never actually seen her in a fight before. This is actually the first time you see her in a fight.
because she's always dipped back and let others do it up to this point.
Well, yeah, because she doesn't want people to see her techniques. Understandable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, if you're an assassin, that's the difference between being a samurai and shinobi. You know what I mean? Shinobi's secretive. It's you don't find out. If you do find out, it means you're the recipient. So
well,
you'll
never find out.
Because
if you find out, you're not going to tell anyone because you're no longer going to be alive.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you find out, it's because you're the recipient of the technique, and that's not good. So, yeah, this is where Santa, Yuzuri, and Sakuni have to learn to fight together because Sakuni actually manages to deal a blow and hurt him. And this is where they realize that they have to team up. It's like, remember us during Destroyer of Worlds? Where it took us about 4 sessions to realize, we all have to just team up on one alien if we're going to live. We can't take them on one or two at a time. We all have to just concentrate fire on one xenomorph at a time if we're going to get through this.
Right. It got a lot easier when Phil remembered that we were all supposed to have armor-piercing bullets.
That did help as well.
That helped. That really helped. After that, we were able to take out like 2 xenomorphs at the same time.
Yeah, but it was like there wasn't this one-on-one business. You know what I mean? You had to team up.
No,
That's what this is like. You don't take on these things one-on-one. You have to team up. And then
I see that as being perfectly fair. There's nothing wrong with teaming up like 6 people against one Tencent. I mean, it's like, how many people would it take to fight a god? In my opinion, the answer is always one more.
But that's a completely different skill, fighting as a team than as an individual. And these people are all individuals, and this is part of their growth as well. You know, the balance, the yin and yang, etc. They might be competent as an individual in their own right, but now they have to learn to basically become a militia or an army or something. You know, being on their own doesn't cut it. Even Gamamiri.
Yeah, the teamwork is what they need.
Mm-hmm. This is where Santa randomly declares that he's fallen in love with Yuzahira.
But he doesn't tell Yuzahira. Mind you, you've got to be honest. Would she care?
I don't know. She's a strange one. But no, wait, because when he's laying there and she's like, but I only have enough and I have to save some for me. One of her elixirs, healings things.
Yeah.
So no, it's a bit of a unrequited love type thing.
They're fighting the Tencent, they're fighting Mudar. And it's like Yuzuru gets an attack aimed at Hair and Center, being the absolute chad of the hero that he is, jumps in front of her and takes it to the chest. And he starts sprouting like all these monstrous flowers that you find over the island. And they just kind of like rip and cut them off him to try and make him live and bandage him up. And Yuzia uses like this, so she uses like a kind of like this clotting agent on him to help stop his bleeding, but it doesn't work. And Xiong comes up badly injured, and it's like, so we've got to save Center. I think I'd be better off using it on him, and I've got to save some for myself. And it's like, well, but the Center hero that he is dies. And the bit where she's talking to him, telling him to like let go, remember the things he loves, so he can die happy. And it shows your Hair face, and there is no emotion there whatsoever. It's like looking at a block of stone. There's no feeling there. And it's kind of like Center gave his heart to this woman, but never told him her because he was shy, which is good. He doesn't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, but at the last minute, though, he says he's in the arms of a woman he loves.
Yeah,
that's how he wants to go out.
That's his internal monologue. He doesn't actually say
did
that.
Not say it out loud.
He doesn't say that out loud. It's his internal monologue.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because I'm like, damn it. Because he's one of the, because they've already said in, I think it's the last episode, in one of the earlier episodes, Shion and Center say that like they're gonna forget about like castes. They're gonna forget about things like criminal and Asamon and things like that, and they're just going to concentrate on finding as many people as they can and getting them off the island. They're all going to leave together.
Yeah, that's a Greenie's promise, and especially when they find out there's no elixir, etc. So it's actually nobody's going to succeed in the mission anyway. So the mission changes.
I've got to be honest. If I could, I'd take Tam back with me and watch the Emperor turn into a tree. Probably die for it, but at least he'd die with a smile. Honestly,
yeah, and that the Emperor already is a bit of a wooden plank. The Shogun, sorry. Yeah, this is where we get the last episode then, Dreams and Reality, and this is...
I think I've got to be honest. I think the Center is the worst death yet.
Oh, hang on, we've sort of Sorry, we've kind of merged the two last episodes together.
We have.
That happened. Yep.
This is the one where Santa dies, and it's like he without a doubt, he is the most likable. I mean, even with the main two characters, Gabby Maro and Sagiri, Santa is the most likable character so far.
Well, he's the one. He's like every dog has their day type character, isn't he? He comes in when he's meant to, and he's the lore master, you know. And you need, with this sort of setting, you need someone who studies it, you know, and because we need somebody to explain to us what the hell's happening, or else this is just people bumbling about an island and fighting and not much else.
I was going to say, if there wasn't someone explaining something, this wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. So that's where Santa's character is like vital. But yeah, that's it. Unfortunately he didn't make it this time. But then we jump to the cave where Gamamari wakes up because he had been knocked flat. He had overexerted himself.
After his battle with the Doshi. If you think about it, he did beat he did basically kill two Doshi, which are like superhumans in their own right.
But this is an example. This is what they've been trying to teach him or explain to him with burning the candle at both ends. Burns bright for not for a very long time. So he's burnt himself out, you know. And he is like an animal. There's an animalistic scene to him. Like when he wakes up, he's instantly like springing. Somebody makes a joke in the cave that he's like a cat. He's like a feral cat, you know. And this is where, once again, we jump back to Shio and the group, and they're sort of discussing mental conditioning and Tao, and the fact that Gamimaru may not have a wife. It may be a control mechanism.
Yeah, because it's kind of like the it's like his immortal supernatural like village chief could be like tricking them to make himself seem more powerful, which is like normal because it was exactly the same in the village that she comes from. And then the fact that she finds it very strange that Gabimaru should have a wife, because if you're going out there on suicide missions and you may not be coming back, why would you have that kind of like attachment? As it would like,
and
it
also
would
Shinobi
prevent. Yeah.
If I remember rightly, Shinobi clans aren't villages. Like you join, it's a warrior caste. You know, as a sense, you join or you're taken as a baby.
Yeah,
but you're not. There's no wives and families in a Shinobi temple.
Yeah. The only way you leave the village is when you die. It's like children are brought into the camp, be they orphans, be they unwanted children, whatever. They live.
That's what I mean. They don't have wives and children. They're not born into it. They're brought.
They live. They're raised by the village. They're trained to become ninja, kanochi, shinobi, whatever. You work for the village chief who gets his orders from the emperor, the shogun, whatever. And you basically work until you work there until you're too weak to be sent on missions when you become a teacher. You don't even leave the village when you die. You're buried within its limits.
Yeah, it's very secretive as well, where they're located, and like that's the way. It's a self-contained unit, but it doesn't perpetuate. So the fact that the village chief having a daughter doesn't make sense, and him having a wife and that, you know, as if it's a normal village, doesn't make sense. As I said, his ideas as Shinobi and his character don't make sense. But then we get an idea because May looks at his Tao and sees the huge gap missing in his memories.
Yeah, literally, the top half of his head is no longer there as far as Tao is concerned. Because they were saying like one of the side effects, I think it was Shion was saying it, like one of the side effects of Tao could be memory loss. And it's pretty obvious that Gabimaru's got no idea where he is or what he's doing there.
Yeah, he's kind of got a bit lost.
And then, like,
the ending, this is really just blunt. Thrilling.
Like,
Shio and Sagiri are having a heart. They're talking about all this.
Like, I think I like it's a very corporate ending. It's like it ends very abruptly, very suddenly, with a million and one unanswered questions. Yeah, with no indication of where it's going to go next or what's going to happen or anything. When this series ended, they already knew there was going to be a series 2. And then they like waited a year before they waited a couple of years before they did it. Like I say, I think series 2 was the last season or the season before. It's only been finished.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very.
I got halfway through episode 14 before I was like, "Oh, I shouldn't be watching this." Because of course you don't have series 2, episode 1. Just go straight on episode 14. I see, my nose has started running for some mysterious reason. My body stopped sweating, but the inside of my nose has started.
It's great, isn't it? Nothing works. All your plumbing starts messing up.
COVID.
Yeah, I just found out like it just got starting to get somewhere. We're starting to
that
get somewhere with the story, and it just cuts us off.
A lot.
And I just can't help but think.
Yeah.
Well, we've been lucky so far because a lot of stuff we've watched has not been like that. Because if it was, I'd get bored very quickly.
Yeah, I
cannot watch this type of anime. I can't watch a lot of. It's too jarring. It's too all over the place. It's too cartoony. They step too much into the cartoony aspect of it. So I find it frustrating. That's why I never got into like the mainstream stuff.
Right.
And it's why I prefer movies, to TV in general.
Like
TV shows, I guess you're like.
Yeah. They sat around the table with like the guy who created the manga and like his editors and the company.
Yeah, they just come up with the idea.
Pull people into series 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not my favorite. Not horrible. But definitely not like
watchable.
There's other things I'd rather watch than this.
It's watchable.
Yeah, definitely watchable. But I do find it, like I said, just that aspect of it can't be bothered. But anyway, there we go. There's that. Obviously, we'll see if we get to watch season 2 anytime soon. Shall we see what we're watching next? Oh, you're breaking it out.
Episode 14, and it just carries on from where we left off. We can be like, what?
Flea, your signal's kind of dipping in and out here. God. Sorry, Ben, your signal's kind of dipping in and out.
I don't know what that is.
There we go. You back?
Oh, I'm back.
Right. Yep. Right. Before you go. Shit. Right. Before you go again, let's spin the wheel. See what we're watching next. Oh, I just accidentally. Right. Let's bring it up. You back it? Oh my god. No, He's gone completely. Hang on, give us a couple of seconds, and then we will. I knew it. He just kept up in the night. I don't know if you can see on the video, but I can see our signals, and you just watch his like vanish. Oh, come on, dude. Do we get this happening? But yeah, I just find this this style of anime, I just find it very jarring. It's not my cup of tea whatsoever. It's very childish. There's a childish element to it, which I don't like, and there's too many characters. They spend too long jump between trying to give everybody airtime, so you're not really getting into the story, and the sort of stop start. Have you returned? Testing, testing. 1 2 1 2. Flea, you back? No. That might take a second. I imagine he might drop out again. I don't know if you can hear me, mate, but I can't see anything or hear anything your end. Nope. Nothing. Right. Okay. So while we're here, nope. Yep. He's dropped out again. Right. I'll spin the wheel. I'll let him know what we're watching once we're done, and we'll take it from there. Right. Okay. Let's do it. Oh. Dark Gathering Season 1.
Ooh. Hello.
Are you back? Are you back this time?
I've returned. Back. Didn't see Dark Gathering Season 1. Dark Gathering Season 1, please, isn't it?
Yes, that's what we're doing next. I didn't know what was happening, mate, so I just thought may as well spin the wheel and let everyone know what we're doing next.
Yeah, the internet burped, hung for a few minutes and then dropped. Like it does.
The temperatures haven't helped. Everything's getting burnt out. Yep.
You might like this one.
That's what we're doing next. Cool. That's just it. Most of the stuff we'll cover I like. I just this style I just find frustrating. It borders too much on the Saturday morning cartoon childish stuff.
Yeah,
borders a bit too much on it.
I can understand that.
Which is not what I want. I want, and there's a dark, there's a dark story here. There's a horror story here, without a doubt, but it keeps getting buried. But
yeah, I honestly think I agree with you. I think as the story progresses and there become less and less people in the story, it'll begin to be like more concise because it won't be jumping all over the place.
Because what I was worried about when it was the first 6 episodes, when it said there was going to be a season 2, I'm like, what, is another group going to land on the island? Is that the way this is going to go?
Right. The group of ninjas that Gabimaru belongs to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they may be on their way.
Okay, that'll be
because I think I don't know that for sure. It's something that one of the Asamon says towards the beginning.
I guess we'll see.
We will see when we get round to season 2 and episodes 14 through 28.
Yep. But that's not right now because next we've got Dark Gathering Season 1.
Dark Gathering!
Yep. So there you go. Thanks, buddy, for being here. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, sir. I always enjoy our anime chats. And I will see you. If I don't speak to you before, I will see you next Wednesday for more Gantz.
Yes, another Gantz, aptly titled. Yep. Thanks everybody for tuning in to the chat. Thank you for the super chats and becoming a member. Of course, Memberships are open, super chats are available. You can also go to our merch store. You can look at Horrific Publishing, pick up some of our volumes there. There's lots of ways you can support the channel. So if you feel so inclined, it's always gratefully accepted. So it just leaves me to say, until next time, keep up to date with the channel, do the typical things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.